Hello, hello, my cookies. This is the Improv Cook. What I am doing today is making bread. I'm making a basic white bread or French bread because the kids want to have pizza bread for dinner tonight. And of course, I'm working all day, so I'm going to use a bread machine to actually make some white bread dough. 4 simple ingredients. So you got honey, yeast, flour, salt, and oil or butter. So, haha, can I count? That's 5 ingredients, but it should be simple, and that is literally all you need. That yeast is pretty darn finicky, and you want your water to be somewhere between 100 and 110 degrees in order to activate that yeast. So we need 2 teaspoons of yeast in this water, 1.5 teaspoons salt, 1 cup of warm water, 1.5 tablespoons of oil. You can 1.5 tablespoons of it, whatever type you are using. Then we have 1 tablespoon of honey, three and 1/4 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of yeast. Yes, recipe said 1.5, but I went ahead and just did 2. So this is our bread machine. Because I don't want the bread to look like a square loaf for pizza bread, I'm going to set this on the dough cycle, and that is on this machine number 9. 8 hours later, I did the dough cycle, and this is what it looks like. So I've oiled my hands. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to turn it out onto this floured countertop and then form it into a loaf and let it have a few moments to rise again before it goes into the oven. The dough is out of the bread machine, and I'm going to see what I can do to form this into something that approximates what you get when you buy garlic bread in the freezer section. I've never done this before. I'm totally winging it. I've cut half the dough away, and now I'm going to form this into an oval-shaped loaf on my floured counter. Going to stretch it out almost like a long baguette with the hope that it will rise one more time while I sit it out on this cooking tray. That's the second half. Not really kneading it, I'm just shaping it. Kind of the size of a hoagie. I'd say that's about 10 inches. A guy would say it's 16, but it's about 10, not quite 12. I'm going to transfer these 2 loaves into my microwave, not because I plan to cook them there, but because it is a warm spot. With the light on, the oven itself here actually stays warm, so it's the light shining down below that warms the oven within, and I am going to let it rise for an hour. Alright, so this is my magic warm spot. This is the oven. The light is on. My bread has been sitting in here. Let's bring it on out. Back to the butcher block. And for the big reveal, how big? Look! They got big! They were skinny little things, and now they're fat, chubby things. Wow, that's going to be our garlic bread. Sweet. So I need to figure out how long to bake these, and I heard something like, kind of remember, but I'm not sure. You can put water, like a pan of water in your oven, and it makes your bread more crusty. So I'm going to look that up real quick, and then I'll let you know. Okay, I did my homework. We have to have an oven heated to 425 degrees. We have to have a stone in the oven, and then we're going to put the bread on the stone and pour some water in to trap the steam. But first, I need some help. Need to cut a couple slashes in this bread. And then the next one. That just helps us as the bread expands. So what we're going to do at this point, stab the bread, is put the bread onto the stone. If I could transfer this to you. Now I'm going to open this up. I'm going to take the parchment and slide it onto the stone. So I have a metal sheet with parchment, my 2 loaves. They're going in just like this. Okay, slide that into place. At this point, you want to be ready because the water is going onto this pan and steam. I found out steam is what makes bread crusty. You hear that? Close that in, close it as quickly as possible. Set your oven timer for 30 minutes. We'll see you in 30. We are at 30 minutes. This is on a stone. These are the 2 loaves. Look at those beautiful look at the beautiful slashes on that bread. Nearly lost that. So that's how our quote-unquote French bread, garlic bread has turned out. So we did the bread machine for the dough. Back it up. And then what we did was we cut the dough in half to 2 loaves. We did the 3 slashes. We put it on a stone at 425 for 30 minutes. That is what we got. Cookies, I hope you enjoy your bread. Ta-ta for now. Now score the second. So let's score this bread.
Will you do the scoring for me and I'll hold the camera?
Sure. What's the score? What's the score? I don't know who's winning. What's the score? What's the score? Don't know who's winning. Your turn.
Thank you.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay. Fingers out of the way.
Yep.
Score 1 in. Yep. And slice through. Gosh, the smell is so awesome. Let's see the steam. Ooh.
Papa, look at this. Quick.
The smell. There you go, folks.
Or maybe as my mom would say,
Bye-bye, cookies. Follow us on Always Making Something. This is how we did it. This is how we did it, yeah. That bread was cut into half lengthwise, covered with olive oil, garlic powder, marinara, and then pizza cheese. Going into the oven, gonna bake it for 5 minutes.